At first, we will install the standoff between the metal tray and the motherboard to prevent the short circuit. Then we will install the power supply unit as the power source of the computer. Then the I/O shelf. The I/O shelf is used to keep the radiation inside the case so that the radios and other equipment won't be disturbed. Then we will install the motherboard. So to install the CPU, we will open the CPU slot first. Then we choose our CPU. And then we close the slot. Then we will apply the thermal paste that used to fill the gaps between the cooler and the respective part for better thermal conductivity and better cooling. On the CPU, apply on the CPU. Then we apply the CPU cooler, the stock cooler on the CPU. Then now we're going to install the graphic cards, that's the GPU. So this GPU is takes the information from the CPU and turns into image which display on the screen. Then we will install the RAM, the one type of storage in our PC which can work very fast. But before that, we need to open the pin first. Then we choose our RAM. Then we slot in. Next, we will install our hard drive, HDD, our hard disk drive. So this hard disk drive is used to hold all the data like the operating system, our programs, photos and music. And lastly, we will install a fan to cool down the internal CPU, the internal computer. Then we just use the simple fan. Then we will go into the cabling. Then here we will use the 8-pin PCI cable that supply the additional power to the cards that install in this PCIe slot. Usually is the high performance graphic cards. So here will be the 6-pin PCIe power cable. Then here we will use the 2024 pins ATX power cable to provide the power to motherboards and others expansion card. Here will be the fan cable to supply power to the fan. And here is the EPS 12-watt power cable to provide additional power to the CPU to work. Then lastly, we turn the other side of the CPU. Then here we will install a cable, SATA power cable, used to provide power to the newest model of CD drives. Then here will be the SATA power cable to transfer the data between device and the motherboard. So that's all. Thank you.